Hello, welcome to Money, Markets, and Motivation. We have changed the name of our show, so it's still with Michael, but that is the story. Ductile is our word of the day. It's an adjective of a metal able to be drawn out into a thin wire or able to be deformed without losing toughness, pliable, and not brittle. Ductile iron pipes are used in the ground for sewer and other applications as well. So there you go. That is our word of the day. Here is our heat map on the S&P 500. So Amazon is up slightly. Microsoft, NVIDIA, a lot of the semiconductors are up. Google and Meta are up slightly. And it's kind of a mixed bag on the rest of it. Some of the energy is up. And so that is the story. Here's the crypto heat map right here. So ETH has been bouncing around, but it's mostly green, dash of green today. So yesterday was pretty ugly with all red. So that is the story with that one. Now we'll go over to our chart. Here's Ethereum. As we can see, it's moving on up from the earlier lows. And now we'll go take a look at Bitcoin. Here's Bitcoin. It's moving up in good fashion. So that is the story there. Now I'm going to share our daily chart here. If you're at all getting close to retirement, you're concerned about your portfolio, you don't want to have something that happened in 2008 where the markets tumbled 54%. Well, this is a good place to put your money. It goes up when the market goes up, stays steady when the market goes down, and goes up again, stays steady, and then goes up. It's just a stairway to heaven, so to speak. 12.58% average annual growth compared to the indexes, which is 7.57. If you want to learn more about that, please contact me. And now we're going to go back to our charts. So here we are at the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is up 0.21% today. The equal weight in the NASDAQ is off 0.12%. S&P 500 is up slightly, but pretty flat for the day, really. The equal weight in the S&P 500 is pulling back 0.32%. And the IWM is pulling back. And I believe I had read that the Dow Jones was licking its wounds. And it is down 0.69%. Let's go to our sub-indexes. Financials are down slightly, but pretty flat for the day. KBWB down slightly, 0.24%. Aerospace, which has been the leading index and the ETFs is pretty flat for the day. Let's take a look at the VIX. We gotta stretch this down. The VIX is up ever so slightly, 1.05%. We got a little bit of a jump gap up and then sell off in the 10-year Treasury. It's at 4.40%. And the 20-year is at I guess you could call it 3.7%. It's up slightly, 0.46% today. On to energy. Energy got a nice move up. So they followed up on yesterday's big move. Communications tried to move up and then sold off. Utilities, it's a big mover. It's pulling back 2 days in a row. Tried to move higher yesterday, then sold off towards the end. Real estate, pretty flat. Biotech is pulling back from the 200-day moving average. The other biotech is actually up slightly. GV is up slightly today. Software is up. Technology is up quarter of a point. I don't think it actually moved. There's our technology up 0.42%. So that was a pretty good move. Yeah, Microsoft was up almost 1% here. So that's good. Infrastructure pulled back a little bit from the pivot breakout. Semiconductors up 0.42%. Airlines really dive. They fall to their 20-day moving average, down 4.42%. Take a look at UAL. Oh, Southwest Airlines really fell on their earnings. I believe that caused a bunch of it. Earnings miss of 26%, or actually earnings surprise of 16% to the negative. Industrials, pretty flat for the day. Healthcare, pulling back a little bit. Consumer staples, pulling back to the 50-day moving average. Building materials, off 1.03%, getting close to the 10-day moving average. Metals and mining, they pull back 1.45%. Home builders down 2% today. And uranium continues to strive well. Let's take a look at CCJ. That's a big mover. It's up close to 1%. And wow, look at the Denison Mines up 3.65%. It's getting pretty close to the all-time highs. And this is Energy Fuels. So that is our story there. Now let's take a look at where the big money was moving today. Rollins got a huge move. Earnings were up 11%. And wasn't really a surprise, but maybe a surprise for some. Sociedad Quimica is up in the pivot zone, up 4.7% today. TPG gets above its 200-day moving average, up 2.31%. I'm just going to move our bar that was blocking our stock list. Albemarle is up 6.84%. All those rare earths. We've got a lot of blue bars here. And then what do we see over here? We're still under the 200. We're above the 200-day moving average, but all the other moving averages are below the 200. So it's not quite a power trend yet. TransUnion jumps 4.08%. Globe Life was really a big mover today, up 5.38% on earnings of 10%, was a 0.6% earnings surprise. LabCorp up 6.86% as well. Look at that blue tower there, gapped up and then sold off. SS&C Technologies is up 2.61% on earnings of 10%. AutoZone pops 1.86%, and O'Reilly Automotive does the same. Pops into the pivot zone, up 2.87%. Earnings jumped 11%. And in industrials, United Rentals has a big jump, 9% up. That is amazing for a big company like that. Didn't really come in as a surprise, but I guess it was a surprise to some. Let's take a look here. What's Technique FMC has a big jump today on their earnings. Their earnings were up 58%, up nearly 12%. In the same category, Bloom Energy gaps up 23%. Their earnings aren't for 3 days, but look at everything moving in their direction. The 10-day is above the 20-day. The 20-day is above the 50-day. And I do not see the 200-day here, but it sure looks like a power trend. And it looks like they just broke into a new high against the relative strength rating is in a new high against the S&P 500. And our last one we're going to look at is Oklo. Oklo looks like it's on the verge of a breakout here. It looks like it's definitely broken out, up 11.38% on some powerful volume 2 days in a row. So that is what we're looking at there. Kind of go around kind of the leading stocks. Palantir rises 0.15%. NVIDIA is up 1.73%. Sold this one yesterday. We'll just have to wait and see on that one. Toast is up another 1.35% as it clears the pivot zone. We did sell this one today. Rigetti Computing down 1.18%. Meta is up MetU is up 0.33%, was up 0.48% and fell back to its moving average. MicroStrategy up slightly as Bitcoin kind of bounces around here. Here's Google up 1.02%. Tried to move higher and then had some major selling come in towards the end. Amazon up 1.73. We looked at Microsoft earlier. Tesla had a big gap down on their earnings today. Netflix tries to bounce back here a little bit. And that's our charting analysis for this day of the show. And we're going to finish off with our quote of the day. Comes from Theodore Roosevelt, former president of the United States. And Theodore Roosevelt said, "Believe you can, and you're halfway there." So go out there and believe in your goals and go out and work towards them every day. And if you can pull up somebody else out there along the way, please do so. We need to continue to inspire everyone that we come and meet and make this a better world out there. This has been Money, Markets, and Motivation with Mike, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow.